right, everyone. So welcome. Yes, we are here with Relentless Fitness and Training. I have my man Matt and my man Paul here, owner and general manager of Relentless Fitness and Training. They're out of Freehold, New Jersey. Just to give you guys a little rundown on what this show is about and really what you're getting out of it. Basically, I'm going to have it where I do weekly podcasts, just giving you guys a rundown of what my lifestyle is, the people I surround myself with. And we're going to really cater this to small businesses who are grinding every day. It's just giving you the guts and the courage to be able to go after your dreams and really create the lifestyle and the life you want for yourselves. I couldn't think of a better duo to bring on for the first show than these two. Matt and Paul and myself worked together for a while. I DJ at their gym all the time. Before COVID, during COVID, I'm still grinding it out with them. We're doing our Saturday classes once a month. And these two are just the epitome of positive, like-minded people. They're completely in sync. They have just such a great story to tell. And they grind each and every day to innovate and make sure they're delivering the best possible product for their clients. And that's something I know I pride myself on. And these two sell that like I've never seen. So if you guys want, just go ahead and introduce yourself. We'll start with you, Matt.
Cool. Well, first, my name again, Matthew Strout, one of the owners with Paul from Relentless Fitness and Training. You know, we're extremely happy for this opportunity to be a part of something like this. You know, this is what we strive, and we've been doing this, our journey, for about almost 10 years now, since we're young. You know, this is what it's about, I believe. I like to say that it's contagious in a way, you know. So I think what you're doing is a beautiful thing of bringing people together and maybe even attracting people that don't even know that they should be here, but kind of like opening up people's minds and ears and eyes to like, hey, look, check this out, you know. And I think that's always been our mission, is to connect with people. It's just people helping people, right? So it's like, you know, Paul and I say it all the time, like, we don't know everything, but we know what we know, and we want to give it out to the world. We want to give them out. And if there's anything that we could give out, an experience or something to either inspire somebody or maybe make them not do it because we already did it and it didn't work, or do it because it did work, that's what we want to do. So the word contagious is almost like when you start believing in yourself and understanding that you could do whatever it is that you strive to do, and you start building that confidence and realizing that you can do it, you're like, I got to tell somebody, like, I want to bring somebody along, you know? So I think all in all, amazing opportunity. Glad to be a part of this. Again, I said, you know, we've been on this journey since we're younger. Paul and I have been friends since we're way young, like sixth grade, right around there. And we've remained very close. Obviously, we have a tight group of friends that we grew up with. And, you know, Paul and I were just very like-minded along the way. And we linked up very heavily, and we've collaborated very strong throughout this journey of, you know, starting out with we started out with a passion for fitness and coaching and sports and that whole thing. And, you know, obviously that's our main beginning driver, but along the way, something else comes into play, which we like to call entrepreneurship, where, you know, you're having fun and you're doing what you love to do, but then it's time to start really realizing how you're going to pay bills and utilities and create a team, because everything's about a team and being able to you know, rent and all these things. So entrepreneurship is a whole different animal, you know. So I think as the journey went on, Paul and I have grown as men, we've grown as entrepreneurs, and again, it's just another whole avenue. So from the passion of fitness and coaching, we love that, but then the other part of us now is entrepreneurs and I like to just simply say, it's just running into the unknown day in and day out. That's really what it is. You know, we have a good plans, we have good understandings of what we're trying to create and put together, but the reality is every day is different, so you don't know what you're going to get. So you got to be able to put fires out, and you got to be able to find solutions. And you know, that's what we do, obviously, with the entrepreneur side. And we've also done a great job of recreating how we believe fitness should be delivered. So with that said, I'll let Paul take over a little bit and kind of move on to more of the delivery of how we deliver our product and the pride that we take in the facility that we have and the service at which we deliver our product.
Yeah, so my name's Paul Alvear. I'm Matt's partner, obviously. I've been along this journey that he briefly just touched on for about 8 years now. We've been kind of getting after it together. And whenever we get an opportunity like this, you know, to kind of just get out there and just speak with our network and kind of chat a little bit and bring things out onto the surface for people, it's always a pleasure. And we always jump at it. We never turn it down because we understand how important it is to kind of hop on board with like-minded people in this movement. So it's kind of interesting and cool because lifestyle and what Vinny's all about, and he's always been about since we met him and since he's been coming in and mixing it up on Saturdays with the classes, has been about that quality and about the way things are delivered and bringing, more importantly, right, through his music and through his mission, bringing like-minded people together and bringing that network together. So to go back to when we first started, our main mission, our main approach that has never changed is to bring quality back to the fitness industry and not be about quantity. So I just think it's just cool that, we're finding, and during these last couple months where we've done a lot more of this work and done a lot more of this stuff and getting our voice out there, where we're not in the trenches as much every day, we've linked up with so many awesome people, and just another one with Vinny and with GAI here. So it's really cool, and I think we're going to hit on a lot of things, to say the least. So let's take it away and start getting after it,
I love it. I love it. And you guys, that was an awesome intro, guys. I'm talking just even the energy you guys have in intros, it's infectious. I feel I'm even more pumped up than when I started. So basically, I mean, we already ran into it a little bit, but tell us a little bit about Relentless. Like, what is Relentless? If I'm a Relentless member, what am I getting out of this?
Well, I think Relentless is a way of life, and I believe it's a lifestyle. We have a sign in our facility that says we train for life. And I think that Relentless started out as a very powerful word. And it starts out as like a mindset that you start adapting. And then what I believe you become is who you are, and it is what makes you. And you start carrying into your everyday life. And I think what we've done a really great job of is connecting with so many different types of people. And we pride ourselves in that, in our diversity, from our team to our clientele and members. The diversity that we bring to the table is just unbelievable, from younger to older, to people who've worked out their entire lives, to people who've never worked out a day in their life, to people who are competitive athletes, Division I pro athletes, or people who just want to stay in shape and look good and feel good, and just are hardworking people. So I think the way and the reason why we've done a great job with connecting is because to be relentless is to be able to work day in and day out to work to become the next best version of yourself. It is to strengthen yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally, the whole being of a human. That's what we pride ourselves in, and that's what we're about. And I think when you do that to people and you inspire and you teach that, the facility is just a training facility, right? So it's where we all come together. We're all like-minded in a sense where everybody has different issues and struggles and adversities outside in the world. But when you come inside under that roof and you got the team there with you and you just know we're all there for the same purpose, which is to get better. You take that and then you take it out into your world, your everyday life, no matter what it is you do. And you use those lessons to apply them into your life, and you let them go. And you, like Vinny's saying, when you see something or you feel something that you want and you're intimidated by it, you take that deep breath and you go get it.
We've all had that feeling. Yeah.
And because we know what that is. And like Paul and I say, like, we still get that. I still get that feeling. I got that feeling before we started today. Like, all right, here we go, but what I've learned about myself, because I've battled anxiety on and off since I'm a little boy, since I'm like little, it's because I have so much passion and so much pride for what I do, and I just want to do a great job. So I look at it more of, now I've shifted myself, and I look at it more of like excitement. I got very excited for tonight, right? And it's just because I want to give out the best. I want to inspire people. I want to let people know, like, hey, you're not alone in this. We're all got some shit going on, but let's bring it together.
Purpose, right?
Right.
You were put on this planet for a reason. Exactly. I really believe in that. And you too constantly display what it is to be relentless every day. And I see it in your workouts and the way you bring a sense of community together and grab a group and push them to a point I don't think they knew they could hit. And I've seen these guys, like, through COVID and all of these new challenges that present itself, they have weekly calls with their clients in a Zoom meeting. They invited me on. I got to sit there and just watch two people that truly care about the people that are around them. And that's not something you sell. It's not a service they put on their website. This isn't something that they're really just trying to jam down people's throats. they truly believe in their community, and that's why you don't have to sell when you're like that. It's
great. Yep. That's a great word, community and culture.
Yep. And that's something I wish I could just instill in every brand, but because with purpose comes passion, and with passion becomes your results at the end of the day. And you guys constantly show that every week. So it's well said. Well said, my friend.
Thank you.
And it's kind of funny with going to the brand, right? Like Relentless, along the way, we've been, had thoughts at certain periods like to stray away from the name, right? Because it could be intimidating. And there was moments of it.
I was scared, bro. I was like, man, what kind of music do I have to play for this? You guys are relentless. I'm over here playing AC/DC every day. What are Metallica?
Like, we tell the story because people come in with that mindset. They're like, they see the name and it could be intimidating. But honestly, we wouldn't change it because that makes it even more worth it, and it adds to the experience. Because what happens is it's normal, right? When 90% of the people are walking into a fitness center or something new or a gym, they're usually starting a journey for their first time or restarting their journey for something that they're very, whether they're down on themselves or they're intimidated by. So, to go exactly with our brand, it's unbelievable because you just see it's even more fulfilling to see them take that complete 180 and that complete turn. And it starts off with our main service, which is supervised training. So when people come in and experience that supervised training, they really get to feel the community, and it starts with the interaction of their program design. It's specific to them, right? Their workout is interactive with the coaches, right? So it's unbelievable because once they feel that for the first time, and then a week, and then a month goes on, and they're their first month of that, we tie everything into it that it changes the word on the front of the building to how Matt just described it. Like, it changes it from this intimidating, strong, mean, relentless word to a lifestyle. Like, and it's really, really unbelievable to watch. And that's what drives us in our team. And it's funny because we say this all the time, and even with coaches that we bring on, like, they're just as important to groom and to grow with us as the community is, because they're delivering it with us. They're just as valuable, right? Your team is just as valuable. So when it's like fulfilling inside when that coach turns around and is like, holy crap, like I really get the meaning of relentless now, or like it's unbelievable to see the person that was intimidated and how they've grown and flourished through it, So it's interesting on the topic of the brand to see it that way,
100%.
Well, I'll tell you what.
One thing I want to add real quick is because we're so proud of it, is we probably have, I think it's about up to 5 people now that have our logo and Relentless tattooed on them.
Get the hell out of here! Really?
I think that means so much to us because we did what we set out to do, which is to impact people's lives. And like I said earlier, is to impact the whole being. It's not just about how strong you are, how much weight you can move, like we're doing something much greater as an overall human being, and we're helping people become better versions, like I said earlier, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I think to affect someone and to connect with them so deep that they want to do that, I get the chills saying it right now, thinking about it, of how that we've been able to impact that many people, and we're just getting started. Like we're just rolling, you know what I mean? Like this is just the beginning. So I just wanted to throw that out there just to show, because I think that's a proud branding moment. You know what I mean?
I couldn't agree more. And it says a ton about your brand and what you guys instill in every one of your clients every day. Because I got to tell you, there's a lot of companies out there that like, they're there because it's a business. You guys are lifestyle first. You guys want to make sure that this is about clients getting better every day. And it's something I believe in myself. So now all of a sudden, effort used to get made fun of. I don't know if you guys remember high school. Like when you tried at something, you used to get teased.
Oh, for sure.
Like the bullies never liked that. They were like, "Oh man, you're such a dork. You play in the band, you run track, whatever. You think you're so cool." Now, for some reason, whatever shifted in the world, it is cool to try and to care. And it's a paradigm shift that you have to feel in your head. Like you just have to tell yourself, I know I'm making a difference. I'm here for the greater good. And you guys, and what, like I said, why I had you guys as the first people on this show is because you guys foresee that all the way through every day. So to get into it, I know you guys just mentioned the supervised training. That's not something every brand does, and it's something I haven't seen in any other gym. I know there's one-on-one personal training sessions with every gym, but with you guys in particular, you do this supervised training, and that's really what the platform of your business, correct?
Yep.
So let's dive into the nuts and bolts in what your product is, and let's really explain to the viewers right now what it is that this supervised training is.
So Paul hit a great little breakdown before. I'll just feed off of that and work off that a little bit, right? So the ultimate concept behind supervised training was the shift that Paul mentioned, was to turn quantity-based fitness to quality-based fitness. Something that you mentioned earlier, Vinny, is like people are trying to make money, which I get, right? We do business too. We're running a business, but we believe that there's a way to really deliver great service and business and still make money. There's a way for everybody to win, because the way we look at it is we obviously know we have to work hard and deliver a great product, but that's what we do. So Paul and I are huge on loyalty. That's one of our biggest things. And following through on your word. Like my mom always told me, like, you say what you mean and you mean what you say. Like you follow through. That's the type of guy I am, right? So we take pride in doing that day in and day out for our people. So like it's an investment. That's how we like to say it. So you're investing in yourself first, and then you're investing in the team and the product that we have created and strive to better every day. We're always trying to make it better. And this product is kind of like a hybrid. Like you said earlier, we do have one-on-one personal training, which is a larger investment people can make for 1 half hour or 1 full hour with one of our coaches, individual, working with that person from start to finish. We do take pride. We like to call it the 5-star white glove approach. We set everything up for you. We get everything you need, and we clean everything up when you're done. It's that little extra. Then we do have a small group training as well. So small group is only up to 10 people. It's designed for those 10 people, one coach delivering that product. So we have 10, right? Then we have one-on-one. Our in-between product is a hybrid between that one-on-one product and an open gym floor. And we call it supervised training. So every single person that comes in gets met with one of our coaches one-on-one. They get a few meetings to kind of get introduced to the facility. We teach movement preparation and muscular activation to everybody, which is really just a fancy in-depth way of saying warming up, but it's a really nice way to prep your body for exercise, because our ultimate goal is to keep risk of injury low and results high. That's what we strive for. So we teach a really good warm-up. We have everybody start out with body weight when they get coming in so that we understand and learn their body. Then from there, that individual coach designs custom programs based upon you as a person, fitting for your goals, your needs, your wants, past injuries, surgeries, tailored to you as an individual, based upon how many days that you truly want to hold yourself accountable to complete it. And that's one of our biggest things, as well as accountability. So for example, let's say you sign up and you want to start with 3 days a week. You're picking 3 days a week. That coach is going to design a program for you for those 3 days. Well, we modified during quarantine, obviously, right? So there was a way that we kind of did it through one way, and now we've gone all digital now. So
I was going to say, if you can, we'll hit on that in a little bit, because I know you have the remote program you're using, and I love it. So I wanted to hit on that separate. So
yeah, we'll do that after.
Day, when we go back to normal, hit us with that.
Cool. So ultimately, you get a program that's designed to you. You're able to come into the facility and access your individual program, and we have one of our coaches on our team to run the whole floor. That coach's job is to help you get set up, help you get anything you may need, answer any questions, motivate you through your last set, spot you, whatever it is. They own the floor, and they're there to keep an eye on everybody and give out positive, good criticism, like critique you and coach you. Constructive criticism to help you be better. That's it. So that's the most simplistic way, is you're always going to have somebody there to be looking out for you and help you out. And your program changes every 3 to 6 weeks, depending on the phase at which you are in. And that's something that we do on our side, like on the back end. And we have some people who ask in-depth questions and we answer them, which is fine. And then we have some people that just say, hey, I want a fresh program. I want to get better. And these are my goals. And we deliver to them there too. So it's based upon quality, time management, accountability, and quality, delivering the best product to people.
Now, Paul, I mean, you're one of the trainers on the floor. Obviously, I see you out there, and you're out there motivating, you're instructing. And I'm going to take what Matt just said, and it's instructional criticism.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't even know if you meant to say that or if that was by accident, but that's genius. And you should coin that from here on in. Instructional criticism is you're leading them in the right direction with what you're giving them. And that was awesome because it's not even constructive. You're not just building blocks. You're planning for the next step. And now let's say it's someone like me. I have an athletic background. I played baseball growing up. I ran track, if you could believe it, with the way I look now. But I want to get back into shape. I haven't done it in years. I go to the gym every now and then. What would you say would be the first order of business for me? What should I do first to get going at Relentless?
A lot of times, we get this one it's real common. I'll put it out there because people probably could relate to it. Is I'm gonna get myself going. Give me a couple weeks before I come in. I'm gonna start working out before I come in.
Like maybe work out at home, do some laps around the block.
Well, what I'm saying is that's not the answer.
Oh, okay.
That's what we get commonly, and then our response is, so you're gonna get yourself ready to start your journey to go to the gym. It's walking through that door. That's what it starts with. What's really gonna happen, and the reason why we went towards quality and not quantity, is because at most other places, when you say that, they push it off, never show up, and you're saying that same statement to another gym 5 months later. Basically, to kind of highlight the points of what is leading to those initial steps are we get you in the door and schedule those appointments to force the accountability. And then we create that program and we hold you accountable through communication all throughout to force that accountability. So you're not an open gym where someone's walking in, because what are the big box gyms bank off of? No-shows, right? It's like the airlines. They bank off people not showing up and someone else taking their seat in their spot and running their credit still, right? Running their credit card. So how we start is our main goal is all between the ears. It's mental. It's getting you through the door. It's having a great conversation with you, making you feel comfortable in our first interaction with you, and then making you feel comfortable enough to walk through that door and commit to that appointment, right? Because 50% of the time, people don't show up for that first appointment. We'll call you right away. We don't take it to heart. We'll call you right back. We'll follow up, and we'll try to get you back through that door again. For you, we'll do it for you, right? Then that second step is when you're through that door. We have, like Matt said, our movement prep and our muscular activation set up. We keep it very simple, right? It's more of you being comfortable in the environment. That's the main mission. If that's all we get out of your first visit, that's all we get. That's fine. If we talk, you ask questions,
it's a stepping stone in the right direction.
If you do a couple little movement prep things and that's it, that's perfectly fine. Our goal is to fill some active body weight movement stuff, some band and activation work, some muscular activation work, and then to get in a body weight workout in day one, whatever that may be. For someone that hasn't moved in years, or their body needs that oil or needs to get that blood flowing again.
You have the oil can for me?
Stuff, yep. It's exercise, right? Body in motion stays in motion, right? So it's simple stuff, from sitting down and standing up on the bench in the right way. Literally, I'm in a chair right now. It's not leaning to get up and get over like you're getting out of your car. It's standing up straight out of that chair. Nice and simple. I'm working on those daily things that we do, and that a lot of people can't do. So that's what we start with, is just the basics, right? And then at second visit, we pick it, but every person is different, and we will hold you and guide you through that way. And then we'll let you go in our environment. And then that becomes supervised, right? Then you'll start coming to your visits where the coach is keeping an eye. And then along the way, if there's little times where if someone wants to invest in some personal training, someone I want to take you to another level, they do so. Or we'll come around and we'll spend a little more time with you, one of the coaches. That's how we train our team, right? So it's a slow, gradual, controlled process, right? Because there's no rush. It's a lifestyle. It's longevity, right? It's not about 2 weeks you lose all your weight, because that never works. 99% of the time it doesn't work. Quick fixes don't work. Quick stuff doesn't work. 40 people group classes with you hiding in the back doesn't work. It doesn't work forever. It just doesn't. We've seen it. We have people come through our doors from all different places, and we stand our ground to quality. We don't care if somebody walks out and says, "This is what am I? You're taking it too slow." Well, you know what I mean? I want to start seeing results. Because you know what? They'll do a circle, and 2 months later, a year later, at some point down the road, they will walk right back through the doors, and they'll swallow their pride.
I love what you just said. And it kind of leads me into the next part where I was going to ask. Now, from like someone like myself, sustainability is the most difficult part. Anyone could lose the weight. I've done it like 4 or 5 times where I've lost 60 pounds, 50 pounds, but keeping it off is a constant struggle. Now, we all know everyone has either a full-time job. Some people have full-time job with side hustles. Some people are parents and they have a full-time job. We have single parents that are going to be watching this. To sustain that lifestyle, what's like a recommendation either both of you or one of you would have for somebody who's just looking to start on the right track and sustain that through hopefully the rest of their lives?
Well, I'll start off by just saying that I like to also use the analogy as there's success and then there's sustainable success, right? And I think they go hand in hand with what we just said. So I think to me, because I do believe that we talk to people very real and honest, right? So I think it first has to be a search inside of yourself about what is the vision of yourself that you see and that you really want? Because the reality is you won't sustain it if that's not where you truly believe that you belong, because you're not going to do it for anybody else but yourself. So I think first it all starts with sitting down and understanding what is success. Yeah, what is it that you see that you believe is success? And then just know that it's extremely hard work, discipline, and it's exhausting and gritty. I love the word grit in order to sustain and maintain a certain standard. I think the opportunity is out there for every single person in this country. I think that's what this country, it allows us to pursue the ability to achieve the opportunity as what we want and what we desire. But it doesn't mean you're guaranteed it. Okay. So I think the reality is understand it's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication, and it's not easy. That's like, I like to be honest straight off the jump. You know what I mean? But I do believe that when you make the decision and you truly know where you want to be, that's the difference. Because then you have a vision, you have something that you're striving to work towards. Because, for example, like we were talking, if you're DJing, let's say through the night, and you want to wake up the next morning and get a quick workout in before you have to go do your side job, 2 things. Number one, I believe it's about either educating yourself or being educated like we do, and showing that less is more. And you don't have to tell yourself that you have to wake up and do the craziest workout in the world in order to get better. But if you just woke up and you did a couple little things for yourself and maybe went for a little power walk, that's good enough. So it's understanding what to do, number one. And then number 2, it's about when you wake up and you feel that feeling, you have to remember, well, what do I want? Like, well, how bad do I want this type deal? And I think if you could see the vision and see what it is that you truly desire for yourself, that's where you can make those hard decisions. It's not easy. You know what I mean? So I think it comes down to the intuition inside of yourself of understanding what it is you want and then doing whatever it takes to get there.
That was, I feel like you guys should be charging me right now because I'm getting like a free lesson right now. This is groundbreaking type stuff, guys. That it's something that you guys adopted. It sounds early on in even your journey as a business and as leaders in this industry. Before we get into like the next area, I really want to get into your business side, and basically at the end of the show, we're going to talk about a lifestyle like mine, where we were just talking about it briefly. But a lifestyle like mine where I have a full-time job, I DJ on the weekends, I have crazy hours, nothing's consistent. How do I stay healthy? How do I stay well on a day-to-day basis? That's kind of how we're going to hit the end of the show. But let's get into the business side. I really want to know about you guys, like as far as how long you've been around, basically what you're looking at as far as memberships, maybe even fees, or how many members you currently have, how many you had pre-COVID. So let's just dive into it if we could.
I wanted to add something that Paul said earlier, and I'm just going to add a little to it. But when we started out our mission and our journey, we started out working and catering to the 1%ers, I like to call them, of the world. The 1%ers are people like myself or Paul who love working out and love fitness. It's what we've done. It's what we do. We love competing. We love that stuff, right? But the reality is it's the 1% of the world that truly like loves it, and like will do it and just do it and love it and not need like a little bit more of a why behind it, which is fine. And that's where we kind of started working with athletes, people that just wanted to get better for their sports and all these things. And as we evolved in entrepreneurship, like I said earlier, and as we grew as men and we understood different things in life and in the world, we really started shifting and understanding that if we're really going to change the game, because we've been saying from day one that we're going to take the fitness industry over, and I'll keep saying it because I've been saying it since I'm little, and I'll keep saying it. But if we're truly going to do that, we have to be able to cater to the other 99%, which is people who don't really love working out, who are intimidated by it, who are scared, who don't know how to put things together, like all the other stuff. If we could work with that group of people and inspire, encourage, motivate, give them a place, we could definitely still cater to the 1%, right? Because it's not easy, but it's just like different. So like what we've done over the years is we've shifted, and that has really allowed us to take this product that we talk about to the level at which it is today. Because like I said earlier, the diversity is so big and so broad. So with that said, though, I'm gonna let Paul pick it up though and talk a little bit more about numbers, memberships, pre-quarantine, post, and all that stuff now.
Yeah, so kind of our model, we've just been innovative within our model, from personal training to supervised training to small group class style stuff. So those always have been our three services. We've dabbled with nutrition stuff here and there. Now we have a little network with a nutritionist, my Plan Nutrition, Stephanie and Leonetti, who we have a little referral program that we work through. So think about it, 3 in-house services, 1 out-house service. We feel all 4 of these services are essential to building that relentless lifestyle, the core of it, right? Our future, our vision, adding everything onto around these 4 services, right? From having a compound with cafeteria and land and food and all the stuff that goes along with it, and just makes it better. But we have to grind and we have to build it before we make it the way we want it. With our 3 main in-house services, like I said, we have personal training, supervised training, and our small group class training. So I'm kind of just going to let you know what our model was, or our model still is, but pre-COVID kind of how it looked a little bit. So we have about around 160 members fluctuating. And when I say that, we do not do contracts, right? We do not do any term longer than a month membership contract. Everything now, we do recurring payment.
Like automatic renewals.
Yeah, automatic. But if someone wants to freeze, they freeze. Why do we do that? Because we believe in what we do. We believe that if we're doing what we're supposed to do and we're delivering the service, we can't lock you in. We don't have the right to do that yet. We haven't been in the game long enough. We haven't built it to where we want it to be. There'll be a time and a place where we offer contracts and things like that. But right now, we have to prove to people, and we don't want numbers, money, and being locked in a contract scare someone away from investing in a service that they could potentially benefit.
Well, not to cut you off, Paul, but honestly, I think that's genius to start, because a lot of the reason why people don't get started is because they'll get locked into a year contract. They don't know if it's going to be something for them yet. They want to try you out. What a lot of gyms don't understand, or a lot of companies, I should say, not even just gyms. I know a lot of people, they'll do the like 1 free month, 1 free week, whatever it is. That's not long enough.
No.
That's not long enough to understand if I want a long-term contract with somebody. When I go in on investments, I don't look at it on a 7-day trial period and say, you know what, I'm ready to put $1,000 into this. No, I just won't do it.
Okay.
It takes me a lot of research, and I'll sit there and I'll dig until I'm satisfied with what I have. And the fact that you guys allow a month to month and you adapt it in that way, it makes people feel safe. And they're not going to end up sometimes being screwed. Some companies will do that, but you care about your clients clearly. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, great points. And that's exactly why we lay it out the way we do at this point where we're at in our journey. Then we go to our PT. We do about, as a team, we were doing about 400 to 450 sessions a month between like around an 8-person team. That's how many personal training sessions we were doing as a team per month.
That's pre-COVID.
Correct. It's a lot of sessions, right?
Wow.
We probably I would say like 60% or so of our membership invest in personal training as well, one-on-one coaching, one way or another, through boxing, through weightlifting, through cardio stuff, to working on sports-specific stuff, to working on their running and preparing for marathons, and whatever it may be, just to staying healthy every day, right? We have members from the age of 5-6 years old all the way to, personal training clients from 5-6 years old all the way to mid-70s, you know what I mean? From there, we get into our small group training classes, which pre-COVID, this is probably the one thing that looked at, obviously everything looks a lot different now, but that looked the most different, right? That we had to kind of navigate through this, because that's more of a group setting, right? So pre-COVID, it was built into our membership. Our overall membership was about $139 a month, $140 a month. And it allows you access to unlimited classes. We get about 21 classes a week, from boxing to circuits to Tabatas to boot camps, things like that. And it allows you unlimited floor workouts, which means supervised training workouts. That's what that membership involves. And it also allows you to get discounted personal training for being a member and paying a membership at our facility. So, for example, what we do as coaches when we sit down, and it's subject to change month to month or whenever communications happen with our members, it could be 4 supervised training workouts on your program and 2 classes. Or if maybe someone's just starting and they're committing to 3 days a week to set themselves up for success, right? They're taking 1 class and doing 3 floor days a week. Some people don't take small group classes at all, right? What we find is that small group classes are very comfortable, just a given, like what you're getting going into it. It's a comfortable thing for people coming into fitness, right? Or going to a new studio. Over time, what we find is that people understand the balance of how that is supplementary to their programs and their efficient workouts, right? Their weightlifting, their body movement, their muscular endurance work, right? They realize how longevity is going to be built through their programs and through taking care of their body. And classes are great supplementary, but if you're doing 5-6 classes a week, you're beating your body up. No, you're not going to be able to have sustainable success. So that's kind of our model. Pre-COVID, again, we have that unlimited membership, our personal training, which is hours and half hours, and in the unlimited membership is our other 2 mid and lower services of supervised training and small group classes.
For a client, now let's say I wanted to just start the supervision classes, where you guys are just overseeing. I have my client file when I walk in.
Program, yeah.
What's a monthly fee look like that for your clients?
So ours are all built in. So again, we're talking pre-COVID, so they were built in. So $139.99, you get unlimited. You could do 5-6 days of that if you're just comfortable with that. Okay. And that's built in. So you're getting a program that's designed to you, and every month that program changes. So, but you still have access to the classes. We do not do just a supervised training membership because we all understand and believe that if anyone does want anything alone, it's going to be class-based. We allow people to enter through class only, and then if they want to upgrade and get involved and merge the 2 services, they can, but we don't do supervised only because we understand how the classes are supplementary and they should be attached and be a part of supervised training.
Absolutely, because then essentially you're only getting a part of the service anyway. You're not going to get the full product that you or experience that you wanted. Okay.
You want them to feel everything, right? So, I mean, listen, it's like giving someone part of the service and not the whole thing.
Exactly. I want the whole pizza.
A lot of people like to start, like Paul said, with the more quantity-based product would be the group classes. But like Paul said earlier, we're great at what we do and we take a lot of pride in what we do. But the reality is group fitness is group fitness. So like my job is to deliver the best workout that I can to everybody in the room. But no matter how good I am, if I got, 10, 15, 20 people or more even, I mean, we've had classes with 20, 30, 40 people. Yep. No matter how good I am, I can't deliver an individual workout to everybody, watch everybody's form and like experience. It's just right. It's just, It's just not real. Right. So like what we've done is it separates itself, like Paul mentioned, is where you supplement with the group, but then you get that custom individualized. So the value in having an individual thing designed for you that changes is valuable, obviously, right? So it's that individual touch. So start little low and then you could build up like that.
This is getting away from the business side, but where do you guys get your inspiration from, your motivation? Because I got to tell you, the way you guys talk, man, you guys are fired up all the time. Carrie, my fiance, she tells me constantly, she's like, sit and relax for a minute. I'm like, I don't know that I can. I don't know if I can. There's so many things I want to do and accomplish in life. I'm like, I am constantly going. And just talking business with you guys, I'm fired up. I'm like, you know what? I got to do this with my business now. I got to sit there and make sure my client files are organized or do it like they did. So where do you guys get inspired like that? Like what's your ammo?
It's funny because, I mean, I know we're all hyped up on the music usually when we have our conversations, Ben, but there is always a lot of energy and always good ones, and they can end up going from a minute to lasting 10, 15, 20 minutes while you're wrapping things up and packing up the car. But, to start, I think the fuel always comes from things that you go through in life, we always say hard times build character, and that was something that we always stick to from the beginning. And we've gone through things with each other as a team. And we go through things with our members too, from any trials and tribulations in life. So Matt and I have a real good perspective on life, I'd like to think, and it's only continuing to grow. And we always take opportunities to gain more perspective and allow our perspective to grow. And I think that's where it starts, though, is just like using that fuel every day. I always say, and my wife says the same thing, like the alarm goes off, whether it's 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and I'm right out of the bed. Like I never hit the snooze button. Most of the time I'm up before it. I am a morning person, but still, like, there's something inside of, I know me personally, but both of us, it's just like, even through what we're just going through now, it just fuels it. The fuel switches to the fire and the competitive side, right? So like that fuel, that will be under people like ourselves, the YouTube van. There's some people that have that energy and one little reason to work with, whether it's the same reason through their whole life or they find little reasons. Doesn't have to be bad. Could be good too. It could be positive fuel, right?
Yep.
I think that's where it starts with, and I know I utilize that every day. And like Matt said, both of us relate, and we have our anxieties, and everyone has their little things that they worry about and stuff. But when you take those perspectives and those trials and tribulations, that things you've gone through in life or still go through every day, it makes it that much easier to just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, dude, we're good. Let's just keep rocking. Like there's only one way to go, and there's only one reason. There's only one way to go about it. So
what about you, Matt? What's your inspiration? Where's all this Strout fire coming from?
Well, I mean, obviously, every point Paul made, I second. Number one, we are both very competitive guys. We grew up that way, and
you ever do it with each other?
What?
With each other too? Do we ever compete? Like, am I going to see you guys in the ring one day together?
I would honestly say that like our relationship, it's really crazy. Our friends ask us all the time, but like I feel like because we've been through so much shit, it's such like a weird dynamic that like it's like we don't have like ever like issues. Like it's like weird, like we understand each other's roles so well, and like it's more just about like picking each other up. Like there's been times there's been times where I know if I slipped up personally, or I had like I was doing something a little like not right, or like like
not
just
to
like
your
falling off
standard
a little bit.
You want to do, yeah,
correct. And like sometimes when you're in it, I mean, you got to think we've been doing this since we're young, and we've devoted like our whole lives to it. So when you're in it, there's times we were in it for 18 hours a day, for years. We did this, right? So like sometimes you're in it and you just don't see what's going on. But like if there's anybody I trust in this world to sit me down and to hit me with some real talk, it's this guy, because I know he's not just going to come at me. He's going to hit me with real talk. So I would honestly say it's more just like feed off each other. We know each other's roles. We got each other at all different times. We know each other's strengths, and that's just kind of like the way we roll with it. It's kind of it really is crazy, but like I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think
different kind of competition. I feel like it's like an intrinsic inside of our business, because we both know that we're in it. You always say, right, when you're building a relationship, like once you get to that point where you both respect and understand that you're in it for the same reason and the same cause, and there's no doubt about it. It's never like a competition, a winner to be better or beat each other. It's more competition. We know how to push each other's buttons in a positive way to roll, right? Like Matt said, like if something's going on if people were supposed to be followed up on my end, and there's someone that we're trying to set up an event or something, it's just a comment. It's just a simple looking out for it. It's not like you freaking forgot to answer them. Like, come on, man, be better than that. Like, I'm better than that. It's like, yo, you gotta email Vinny back. You see Vinny's email, and I know right away. And I think a lot of that comes to do with it. We're both as competitive as stubborn as we could be with our relationship. Our wives probably laugh because it's probably better than that we have it with them, but we're able to swallow our pride a lot easier with each other.
I was just gonna say, like that shit's crazy, but I think we're competitive, but at the same time, we both grew up being able to get our instructional criticism from our parents or our coaches. We wanted to know what we could do to get better. So like if he says some shit and I know I messed up, I'm gonna look at him and just like, damn, just swallow it and go fix it and go take care of it.
Yourself. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it, right? Because I have
Vice versa. It's just how it works. It's funny because we don't talk about it a lot. We don't, because we're just going. So we don't like reflect on this. It's kind of cool to do it.
It really is. But at the same time, I think because we're so competitive, there's this intrinsic thing that we both just want to do so good for ourselves, but we also don't want to really get called out. Like I've always kind of been like that. We're like, I'm always trying to take pride in doing all my shit. So like I could limit the percentage of there being a chance of anybody coming over. And not that I'm like being like a know-it-all. I like to take pride in what I do. Like I just want to do a great job every time, right? So like if I do a great job, he can't come over and be like, yeah, you forgot this or some shit, And it's all out of good, healthy fun because of the relationship. it just built, like we just keep building and building and building. We just keep rolling with it.
Say this, one of the biggest things that I've learned a lot of things from Matt, and we teach it. We always say we learn so much from each other because that's just what it's about. But one of the biggest things that I ever learned from him was now remember, he was in the fitness industry before I was. I was in school studying for all my different majors. I bounced around from athletic training to health administration, which I finished up with, but working with him at the same time, I was commuting to King University. And the biggest thing, and I never forget it, because when we bring new people in, when we bring new members to our team, I deliver the same way, is we keep saying that instructional criticism comes at the right time. The biggest thing that will never happen with our relationship is we'll never be in the middle of the gym floor in front of members, in front of our team, in front of everyone and say, yo, did you like, it's not about that. Like, did you do that? Why didn't you do that? It's me and him in a conversation and that's it. And or him and I, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, more importantly, what I learned is when we were grooming our team, or when he was grooming me in the fitness end of it and helping me grow, it was never an embarrassing point. He could watch me do some stuff in a group class, and unless it was very dangerous for that member, he would find a way to interlude without that people knowing. Hey, like, he'd come over, say something out loud, and then, hey man, just don't cut that out for now. I'll explain later. Boom. And then that was it. But it was never like in the middle of a 15-person group class, hey, she shouldn't be doing box step-ups, Paul. Have her stop doing that.
Not right.
I've never seen it. I've done a ton of classes with you guys.
How do I learn? How do I learn in that moment? As a coach, how does she learn? That experience is not positive for anybody. So with our competitiveness and with our fire and our business relationship and our friendship and everything, it's always been the purposes. The purpose is bigger than both of us, so there's no room to embarrass. There's no room to call each other out. But that was I carry that lesson with me forever. I will,
100%. It's like Uncle Paulie, Goodfellas, Uncle Paulie. Everything's people. If everybody's got to know something, they got to know. But otherwise, we keep it quiet and cool, because otherwise it looks bad to everybody. We start arguing and shit. Everybody's like, what are these guys doing? Right? It looks silly. It's crazy. We do like a fun little competitive thing with our sessions every month. We'll see how many sessions we do every month, and we'll still like chirp, be like, oh, where you at? Like, it's like a little fun.
I'm always out of that 450. I'm always chasing him, but I get it because the roles we play in the business. I know if he's big front end, I'm bigger back end. We understand that, but we still compete in both ways, right? But that's it. I guess that's where we compete, and we just do it subconsciously. He'll do 30 in a week and stay consistent 25, 30 in a week, and I'll be like, yo, I'm getting 25 next week. I'll maybe now I will. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm gonna try to get.
That's it. We're the president. We're doing this now.
What Paul said,
you're getting us fired up now.
Yeah. I think what Paul said, though, triumphs everything, where when we set out on this mission, we said we're going to take the game over. And we said it for two reasons. Number one, because we're so competitive and we believe that we deliver the product better than anybody else in the game. Number two, we believe it's our obligation to deliver the best product to the people, because you got to be selfish in order to be selfless. In order to be selfless, which everybody tries to do in this world, the secret first is you must be selfish. Because if I'm going to give of myself, I got to be great first. I got to take care of me first, or else why would you want any of me anyway, right? So I think we constantly take care of ourselves. We pick each other up, but there is a little bit of selfishness in this competitive game, right? Because we want to be the best. But at the same time, the selfless side of it is we also believe that what we're creating is what the people need and what they're searching and earning for inside. It makes me sad when people go to other places and invest and get let down or don't get to where they want to be, because it takes a lot to take that first step, and they go and we have a lot of bad experiences out in the world. And I think our mission to recreate the game is, like Paul said, is bigger than everything. So like, we understand that the mission triumphs everything, and that's it. So like, yeah, we could break chops and keep everybody honest and whatnot, but we have the ability to step back and unemotionally assess and do what's the best thing and make the best decisions. You got to think too, when Paul and I started this, we were 19 years old, turning 20-ish. We were 20 years old, meeting with landlords, taking out insurance policies. I never forget the first woman who did our insurance policy, who was super nasty to us on the phone. We were asking a lot of questions. We wanted to learn. Finally, she kept answering and all this stuff. It was a big investment. It was one of our biggest investments for the full year policy, right? So she came there in person to sign the papers, and she was all like, I'll come there, whatever. She walked in. This woman started crying in front of us because she felt so bad after meeting us. And the lady, I guess, was just having a bad day. And I get it, right? But here we are. We were young kids asking questions. it starts with the little stuff of not knowing and going through that stuff and not giving up. But we always had each other's backs too.
Yeah.
We've been through so much weird uncomfortableness together. It's like all we want to do is constantly pick each other up and keep feeding off each other. So I do believe that, it ain't something that just happens overnight. This is time in. This is years of making.
And I'll tell you what, you see it. I'm going to just thank you both, because we just got a couple real moments out of you guys, like where you guys are just being boys for a second. I love seeing that. That wasn't businessman Matt and businessman Paul. That was just Matt and Paul shooting the shit. I love that. What was like the moment you guys decided, we're like, we need to make a business out of this? I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, what was that moment, and what were the first steps? Because I know that in each of my businesses, I know that exact moment, and I'll never forget that, because that's my fire. That's what keeps me motivated, because I know what pushed me to that exact day.
I think something we've been talking about recently too in the last year or so, and I was actually having a good conversation with one of our the guys on our team, Drew, this afternoon, was about leadership. And I think through everything growing up, especially, Matt and I were always, we have a big group of friends we're still tight with today. There's probably I don't know, 10 to 15 of us that are in each other's weddings, at each other's everything. We're just all really, really tight. We just keep in real good touch in a nice little circle. And we're all, we're getting into our 30s now, but talk to each other every day, one way or another, golfing with each other, hanging out, you know what I mean? Just a good network. Not being the best at everything or the top, and that never was what it was all about, but being the one, the two, and there's out of the group of 15, it wasn't just us two that were like this, but we were really the two people for people to go to, just with anything that happened in life from a young age. Maybe we even gravitated to them too. If they were going through something, how it is, man, growing up, and you go through so much from, friends losing family members to adversity with parent situations, with, all different stuff, siblings and failures and getting cut from sports team, just injuries, surgeries, health issues, just everything. And I think we always gravitated towards our people in our group, and it was just a common meeting, and we were definitely two of the leaders in that way. And I highlight in that way, meaning we weren't the best at everything we did, but we just were always there to help and guide, and that's what we're doing. In those moments, we knew we were always going to be helping people, and then when we kept continuing having the love for exercise and seeing how important it was and the passion for the way the body's moving and taking care of yourself, it came together.
I think we never were afraid to run into uncomfortable. And before we even knew it, we were doing it, like Paul said, that uncomfortable shit. When someone's sitting there crying, you look the other way and kind of don't see it and just kind of get out of the way real quick, or do you go over and say, hey, you okay? What's up, And I think Paul and I have always done those things, is step into the uncomfortableness and just be there, be in that uncomfortable territory. Me personally, I feel like I grew up watching my father be in the industry. I grew up watching him work out. I've always wanted to be in the industry since I'm a little kid. It's been my dream. My mom found a vocational program that I went into in high school to be a certified trainer. So when I graduated, I was certified. I just kind of went from there, working little jobs. I always, for some reason, start out doing little things. And next thing you know, I'm kind of just more responsibility. I wasn't afraid to take on more responsibility as a young person, as a young kid, Did
you always know you were going to have your own business?
My dream was to run my own gym, my own fitness facility. I didn't believe I would do it at this magnitude. I believe that what we are now and what we deliver is something greater than, I don't even know if it's out yet.
And I don't even know your childhood dreams.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know if I know nobody else is doing it the way we're doing it. And I didn't even know that we had it in us to do it to the level at which we are. Because I believe what we're doing is using fitness and weight training and cardio and boxing and all those things as tools to inspire, encourage, and motivate and build human beings. And that's the difference, I believe. So I think we went through a lot of different phases. I worked in a corporate facility while Paul was going to college. So I was working at Central State Fitness and Wellness Center for 3 years. I got a really great opportunity. I was the youngest, most unqualified kid, but I spoke pretty well at my interview, and they gave me an opportunity. I had a 30-day trial. And I walked around, I talked to everybody, and they gave me a shot. Out of all the 6 clubs, there was about 30 guys at each club. And I happened to be blessed with the number 1 guy at all the clubs in sales and everything. The first day I saw him, I went up to him and I shook his hand. I said, I want to know everything from you. And I followed him around like a dog, a puppy dog, for about almost a year. Now, to go back real quick to the way Paul said that I take a lot of pride in coaching and building and leading my team was because of how this kid's still great. I'll credit him. He taught me everything. He was my fitness guru, but he was a bully in a way. Okay. He called me out in front of everybody. He made me very uncomfortable. He did all the things you would never want anybody to do. If I was anything else and not so stubborn and thick-headed, I would have broke. I would have quit. I would have gave up, but I just never did. And ultimately, I worked my way up to number 2 in the whole company. Me and him combated month to month, and to the point where Paul was finishing up school, coming back around, trying to figure some stuff out. Ultimately, we finally took that jump, and we took Paul's education and awareness to understanding the whole business end and that business side, my connection with my clientele and fitness and whatnot, and we came together. And we got a spot and we just started running. We didn't know how we were going to do it either. I said, like, we were like 19, 20, and we just said, let's go get it. And a funny, quick little story is we had a place painted and ready and paid for. We were supposed to open. Our landlord called us and said, hey guys, I didn't fill out the CO properly and you're denied for recreational. You can't use this facility anymore.
So what'd you do?
We had no place to operate. We were literally at nothing. We
had members coming in the next week.
We had members coming in. Everything was coming there. The truck was coming, getting delivered. We paid, which was just a learning experience for the whole year of rent up front. So long story short, we figured it out. We rerouted everything. We stayed in the car, finding a new place. We found a spot, and it happened to be our first spot. It was about 1,100 square feet. It was the original church in Marlboro on 79. We were able to reroute everything. And we got it done because we never gave up. You want to talk about anxiety and trying to figure some shit out. Basically, in that moment, you feel like you have everything almost there, and then it's just wiped out from underneath you. But these are the things now that we have so much fun giving out. We want to tell these stories to people because it's like, if you think that there was ever an easy day, if anything, there was less hard days, but every day's hard. Might be a little less hard sometimes, but every day's hard. It's challenging. But now it's fun. It's fun because we know if we don't give up, and we don't do the same thing over and over again, we're going to get better. We're going to move forward. We're going to get it. We're going to figure it out eventually, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, because you guys, it seems like each obstacle thrown your way, you guys have found a way to overcome it. And leading you to the location you're at now. Yeah, exactly. Do you have another option?
Nope. There's never been a plan B for us. It wasn't like, all right, well, if this doesn't work out, we're going to go do this. You don't got a plan B. It makes you comfy, right? It's one option, and that's it.
And we even talked about that a little bit the other day when I was working with you guys. And you were like, man, I'm not one of these corporate guys. Like, this is it. This is who I am through and through. So,
well, correct. We said in this moment now, it's very interesting to see who's going to do what because the rules of engagement are changing. And I believe that this will be the shift. When we got into the quantity-based fitness industry, and we were a little fish in the big pond trying to bring back quality fitness. And I think what we're going to see here is a shift in hands. And I believe that we've never felt so proud and ready and confident to jump into this because this is what we've been building. So the way that we deliver the service, the way that we have the facility design from where you walk in to where you stand to placement to timing to cleaning to everything is just so thought out. And we're always trying to get better, though. We're always open for more ways, but it's our time to shine. And what I told Vinny on Saturday was, I respect everybody in business. I wish nothing but success on everybody. And I believe that there's plenty for us all to succeed and flourish. But entrepreneurship is a tough game. It will weed you out. It has no emotion, right? So I think in this given moment, you're going to see what people do when their back's against the wall. So if you start out in a corporate fashion that's backed heavily by money, if there's not as much money flowing and whatnot, now you're going to see for people like us, I like to say we're from the dirt. We've started from scratch.
Different level of hunger.
Yes, the innovation that our brains had to come up with over the years to never quit and keep our doors open every day, you can't beat that with money. Obviously, it's going to be a process and it's going to be a battle, but it's just two different thought process, different minds. You know? So
no pun intended.
I think it's correct. I think it's exciting to see where the industry goes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's a good segue because I wanted to really get into what you guys are doing about COVID. And I saw that you guys do remote Relentless. Now, what is remote Relentless and what is it made of?
Yeah, so it's interesting because like Matt said, along our journey, it's always been about adjustment. So we like to believe that we were just continuously prepared for these since March 15th hit, and we went in the back room and had a team meeting and said, this is how we're going to operate from this point forward until we're told not to, but everyone's going to head home, and Matt and I will be in touch with you the next day or so. But this is our first plan. Our first step of the plan is to take care of our members. And that's what we did. We said, we're going to get in touch with our website company. We're going to get a survey put out on our website. We're also going to send out email blasts. We're going to get responses from all these people to what they have in their homes remotely, to what how many days a week they want to work out, and we're going to keep them flowing. And that's what we did. Within the first 24 hours when we were shut down on the 16th or 17th of March, we had well over 100 workouts delivered from our team to our current members. And then by mid-April, or probably end of March, we had close to 200 workouts delivered. New members, old members, just people looking for something to keep them going. And then we just kept adding on throughout the quarantine and keeping in touch with these people until we had one bright light of reopening to outdoor classes. So basically the remote was driven from that. The remote was driven from the potential of us having to operate only remote forever moving forward, right? We had a plan for that. So we had to create a service that was going to be accessible. And now that, when I talk about that, the percentage of people returning, we've been able to get some business back by continuing to deliver remote workouts and remote programs. We haven't had an option for our founding members, and then we have an option that some people are investing in new members, people from the distance that are in the city, that are in Washington, D.C., that they needed motivation and exercise throughout this, and they reached out to us from different states, different counties, people that can't even drive to us. So
are you seeing that many new members since COVID?
As far as our membership goes, like onboarding people for the new one, we probably have like 10 to 15 or so. Now, as far as people that are active with us, so we have our small group outdoor sessions that are drop-in only. I mean, we're looking at a mix of 40 to 50 different people that are popping in here and there. And we're starting to see even more now, because what happened was this. Those people, we took care of them throughout the shutdown. Everything started reopening back up. People started returning to their before, and a percentage of those people realized their before isn't like it was before. So let me go check out Relentless, who took care of me throughout this. So, I mean, I'm saying every week we're getting like 3 or 4, 5 leads. I just saw today a bunch of people signed up for small group, like new faces, new names that are just now venturing out and kind of getting antsy and really need to make a decision to get somewhere,
That's huge. Now, actually, let me ask you a follow-up question to that. Now, cancellations, what percentage-wise are you seeing as far as cancellations go?
Well, what we did is I left that part out, but we froze our entire membership on that date.
I love it. And you didn't have anyone reach out to you saying, listen, we're not coming back?
No one came up and said we're never coming back to the gym. That percentage of people that didn't return, so like I said, our 50% is around 75, 80 members that are locked in and back on board right now. The other percentage of them are people that are slowly coming back. We're in touch with them. We're just making the timing right. Or maybe, say out of those the other 80, 40 of them are people that are just not comfortable yet, and they're receiving remote and signed up for the remote option. Or they're just saying, hey, listen, I'll be back in phase 2 and phase 3. Some of them are people that we're still taking care of, but they're making a decision based off of positive. They're looking out for us. That nurses, doctors, people that are saying, listen, I'm having to get tested every couple of days because someone comes to our office that has the virus. It makes no sense for me to sign up, be there for a week.
Yeah, just to go back to square one. Yeah.
So we're delivering workouts to them, and we're just making sure we're constantly staying in touch with everyone and relevant. Honestly, I'm going roughly the last 2 weeks since we've opened for personal training on the 2nd, and then scheduled supervised training, which follows the guidelines. Everything's scheduled and individual. I really, like, these last 2 weeks, I have to really sit down and get these numbers a little bit better, because I'm just I'm going off what I've been processing and what I've been putting through. But what I'm going to do is hopefully towards the end of this week at some point sit down and really, again, what we like to do is go over our list and make sure we reach back out again. And all the, I'll send out to all the coaches, people that haven't come back yet. Hey, just make sure you're in touch with them, making sure we're keeping connected.
I got to tell you, though, that's huge, because obviously I'm in contact with a lot of businesses. When you work in entertainment, I deal with photographers, videographers, venues. I'll deal with people's wedding planners, personal trainers, everything. And the amount of feedback I'm getting on cancellations is astronomical. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I sometimes I get a little freaked out because I haven't gotten a cancellation yet. I have not. I had a dream last night, and I promise you this is the truth. I had a dream last night that I got my first cancellation. Yeah, I cried.
Wait,
I cried in my dream.
When you say cancellation, do you mean that like they haven't just coldly just say we're not dealing with the service, like they didn't reschedule anything.
Nope, they canceled their wedding. They're not going to do one in the future. Vinny, I'm sorry, but that's it.
You cried in your sleep.
And I cried in my sleep. I woke up. I'm like, what the heck just happened? I go, never. I go, that has not happened. So it's a little reassuring that you even said that you guys haven't had a cancellation yet, because I'll tell you what, you guys carry your brand a very similar way that I do. Whatever your client needs, you'll find a way to make it work for their life and whatever they're feeling right now. If they're scared, they're just a little skeptical about what's going on, you're going to work with them no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's where that not getting the no cancellations come from. So you're literally, that dream last night freaked me out because I'm like, did I not come up with a solution that could have been adequate for the client?
Right.
So
great statement. I have to love that. Yeah.
So for me, it was like a moment. I woke up and I was like, man, that was a weird night, huh?
Wow.
Right. Paul, cool stuff, man. That's awesome. Just to know you guys are doing that well and your people love you that much, where they're going to stick by you and they're just going to continue to have that dialogue back and forth. So not many brands could do that.
I think it shows you too. I think the mind's a funny thing, but I think it shows you how intuitive you are with yourself and your brand and your passion behind what you do, that you were so freaked out that you did that. You probably woke up today and looked through your list of people, made sure you're in touch with everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
I swear. I'm like, did he actually hit me up and do this? I'm like checking my emails. I swear to you.
That shit makes me proud as a fellow service provider, because that should be the way that people think about this shit, right? Especially when you're in the service industry, any business really, but when you're delivering service, you need to go above and beyond for the people. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. So, but I don't think everybody can handle that. I think in order to do that, you must have really good confidence in controlling yourself first in order to be able to go above and beyond for others.
Absolutely. You know what? I would have never gotten to business if I didn't think that I could give them what they needed, and that I cared enough to want to give them what they needed. Carrie and me talk about it all the time. And the preparation I put in, like I don't know if you guys see it in me, but obviously I know it about myself. Me, I get anxiety too. I'll be cool as a cucumber as long as I am performing. It's everything leading up, the anticipation. I'm freaking out behind the scenes. I'm like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And you have plan A, B, and C. We might not have a plan A, B, and C for our business plan, but for that event or that gym session or that class, you have a plan A, B, and C just in case. But that preparation's key, man. And it's just like I said, it comes down to a purpose, then comes passion in your purpose, and then that leads you on from there. So you guys, I'm telling you, you guys are rock stars in your industry, man. It's just awesome getting this information from you. If there's any potential, maybe personal trainers in the future listening, or will listen after the live feed, this is going to go on YouTube. So anyone watching, this is going to go on YouTube, Twitch, everything. So it's going to be on my website. I'm going to send it over to these guys. They're going to have a link also so they can put it on the Relentless website.
We got YouTube as well too, so we'll put it on there.
So yeah, let's get to the next segment. I know we're not calling out segments because I just love the free-flowing conversation we're having. Basically, before we get into like kind of the fun part, just getting to know each other a little more and goof around, the inspiration behind this show in particular with you guys was, with a crazy lifestyle, what are some really, really good ways? And you talk about mind, body, and soul experiences as far as keeping yourself healthy. Someone like you, Matt, you are now your father. Congratulations, obviously.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Baby girl. A beautiful family, obviously, now. So, and you have a business that you have to run. Someone like you, someone like me, where I have a side hustle. I just got married. I have a house. Paul, you have a wife. You don't have kids, right? Not yet.
Not yet.
No, we'll work on that. We'll talk about it. But these are crazy lifestyles. Now, for someone like me specifically, where I'm in the service industry, obviously, but I work in entertainment. So I am 100% at the mercy of the client, where whatever time they decide, that's when I'm there. I have to work with the venues. I have to make sure I'm in and out at specific times. I have to coordinate with videographers, photographers. How do you stay healthy physically, mentally, just across the board, what would be some tips you would give someone with a lifestyle like mine?
First, I'd start out by understanding and never forgetting, if you don't know, but there's 168 hours in the week. We all got the same amount of them. There's 24 hours in the day. We all got the same amount. So number one, it's about understanding. I'm a competitor, right? So like I do a lot of research. I study a lot of influencers. Like you said before, I was going to shout out some people that I follow as well. I could do that after, but like guys that I study and that I look up to and that I watch and I listen and I look at them. I watch their YouTubes. I watch their videos. I listen to their podcasts. Like for me, it gives justification that there's others out there that are living this crazy lifestyle of grinding and digging. And I believe it all comes down to time optimization and understanding how to manage your time and prioritizing. Number one, for me, the competitor side of me knows if there's any other man in this world or woman that's ever done it, I could do it. And even if there wasn't, I'd still try my hardest to be the first one, right? So there's that one sense of like, all right, well, this guy doing this, he's doing that. Like it's doable, right? Let's kind of, so I think knowing and going out and educating and seeing from past athletes to entrepreneurs to motivational speakers to all these different things, right? And then from there, I believe it's about time management. And I think running the business taught me so much about just overall everything, because obviously having a child is a whole new venture, right? But I think when we took the business on, it was our baby. Like it's all we had. It's all we, like I breathed, slept, ate, everything. I still do. Like it's so deep inside of you, right? So I went through phases. In the beginning phases of the business, I stopped taking care of myself. I didn't work out for like the first year. I just worked as many hours as I could, did as much shit as I could. I didn't eat a lot. I grinded and worked. That was it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good. Sorry, that's my alerts going off. I got notifications popping off on my
cool.
my bad.
It's okay. But what I learned was I started slowly breaking. I was breaking physically. I was I was like breaking. I was mentally and emotionally draining. So I think when we preach now on the relentless mental, physical, and emotional strengthening, we've learned that throughout our journey. So when I moved to my facility that we're at now, I made a vow and a promise to myself that I would take care of myself every day. And my motto was always, I just got to get to the foam roller. So like, no matter how tired I was, I don't connect with how I feel with tasks that need to be accomplished. I separate them. What I've done though is I've created a minimum. So if I just foam roll my body, I do some stretching and I do some band activation like I talked about earlier, and I keep my ligaments, my tendons, my little muscles strong. I get some blood flow. If I take 20, 30 minutes to myself, I'm okay with that now. Because in the beginning, I felt like I had to do so much.
Right. You think you have to fill in a full workout, stretch, cardio, weightlifting, everything.
And that's why I said, you know what? Just forget about it. I need to work. That's it. I'll just do it. I'll do it.
So you would say in a packed schedule, if I'm going to take away one thing physically, it's probably to at least stretch your body out, loosen up your muscles, and just make sure your joints are feeling good.
100%. I would say to start grinding, it takes 21 to 30 days to form a habit. I would practice for yourself the next 30 days. Finding 20 minutes a day for yourself. Put your headphones on, put some music on, and go away. We could teach you some new stuff. We could teach you things. We have some stuff on YouTube that you could check out as well. Some nice, gentle home things that just kind of move your body around. It is scientifically proven. If you make a body shift, the chemicals inside of your body change. You automatically, your cortisol levels drop, which is the hormone that creates stress inside of your body. Your testosterone levels increase, which makes you feel strong and empowered. It's an automatic shift of change in just motion and movement. So I think what I try to give out to people is to educate them on, stop trying to focus on how much shit you're trying to do in a little, take time and focus on yourself. So now to get to where I am now, where I take I'm all in on my business. Everything I love, single thing about it, from my team to my members to everything and the journey that we're on. I have a wife, I have a house, I have a kid now. I'm a big family guy. Paul and I are both big with our families. I want to be the best version of me for every single one of those areas. So if I don't take the time to take care of me, everyone's probably not going to really they like me for who I am because I am what I am. And it's because I take time for myself. I'm educating, I read books, I podcast on my downtime. But I challenge myself. I believe that you must find a way to challenge yourself more internally, you versus you. And you prove something to yourself, which then allows you to move forward and to cut out any external force.
You feel like you can overcome it. The next step.
Correct, because external can't overpower your internal drive. So, for example, Vinny, you say to yourself tomorrow, you're going to wake up 30 minutes earlier and you're going to have a 10-minute window to kind of just get up, maybe make your coffee, put some water on your face, whatever, and you're going to go downstairs. I meditate and breathe for 3 minutes every morning, focusing on gratitude and breathing inside of my body.
3 minutes?
I do it for 3 minutes every day. And someone taught me that. I've been doing it since the quarantine started. That's only new for me. But I wanted to do something new. I want to take myself to a different level. I do believe in breathing. I'm a huge visualization guy, but meditating just to start my morning, focus on my breathing, and start my day with gratitude. Tony Robbins calls it priming yourself with gratitude, because when you feel gratitude, you can't feel hate, you can't feel fear and anxiety. When you're in a state of gratitude, all you feel is gratitude. They're offsetting energies. So you start your day like that. I guarantee if you did that, though, because what you're actually doing is you're proving something to yourself. So you said, Vinny, I'm waking up 30 minutes earlier than I did yesterday. When you wake up 30 minutes earlier than you said, you're going to be like, I did it, because it's going to suck.
You prove something to yourself. I can wake up early.
Exactly. You did it for yourself. And I guarantee you after those 30 minutes and you move around a little bit, then you get in the shower and you're like, all right, let's go. You're going to be like, ooh, okay. But
you feel like you can win the day.
Exactly. The problem is, though, the first couple of days, it takes 30 days to kind of get a little routine and a little flow going, right? So you got to keep doing it. You have to keep building it up and make it become like second nature to you. But if you could remember how you feel after, that's one of the secrets too. When you get out of that shower and you already worked out a little bit, just walked or something, you're like, all right, let's get it. So now tomorrow when the alarm goes off, remember the feeling that you felt after of how proud you were of yourself.
You want that again.
And you want that again. Correct. So it's little things. Little things add up to big things. We've been doing this since we're little. Pennies add to dollars. We take the pride in the littlest things in our facility and our service, because all little things add up to big things. And I think sometimes and we're all guilty of it. It's very easy to get lost in the big picture. I want to see Matt, who's, shredded out, diced, all these things. But if I'm starting at a point and I'm looking, I'm like, shit, I worked out one day, and then I look at myself and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not that close yet. And you give up. It's also kind of like the way in our world, everything's instant. We're used to quick gratification. Unfortunately, this real deal gratification is earned, and it's over time, and it's patience. Patience is the number one thing I would say for anyone of anything, is you must be patient.
I couldn't agree more, because you're not going to get it overnight. No matter what health and wellness podcast is going to tell you can do it tomorrow. Oh, make $1 million in 24 hours. It's not going to happen. No. You can make $1 million in 24 hours, but it took probably 100,000 hours before that to get to that point where you can make $100,000 or $1 million in an hour.
Exactly.
24 hours. But we were talking about what we could do with like mind, body. Now, let's say I'm on a crazy schedule and I have like a double or a triple in a day. And actually, I have experienced probably 10 to 15 triples. One of the days was when I was working with you guys. I had a triple. I started the morning with you guys, had an afternoon gig, and then I had a wedding at night that ran until and then overtime on top of it. So I was active for, I think it was 21 hours straight.
Damn, kid.
It was something like that.
I respect that.
So a day like that, typically, you just get whatever you get your hands on and run. Like, that's it. If I could grab a McDonald's cheeseburger, I'm grabbing that.
Correct. I would say water, number one. Pump your water. Our bodies are made of water, almost all of it. So, like, if you could just know that day's coming up and you just keep yourself hydrated, it would go so much farther than you could even know, because it's just keeping your body juiced up.
Okay.
And then again, like you said earlier, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. We're human beings. When we get hungry, we're going to eat. If you don't eat soon, you're going to get hangry, and you're just going to eat anything. You're just going to be looking, right? So, like,
can I tell you how much I love you for saying that? Because that was a leading question. I was praying to God you would say that. Because that day, I grabbed McDonald's, I grabbed Wendy's, and that was it. That was what I ate for the day. But
and listen, I ain't mad at you. It's understandable. It's human nature.
But you know what? Now I'm at a place in life where I understand myself a little bit better. It's kind of what you're talking about with this reflection thing. And sitting back, taking time, and really evaluating with yourself. Carrie and I, we've been trying to get into a healthier lifestyle lately. We walk and run every single morning since COVID has been going on. And now I'm seeing it. We're preparing a lot more of what we're doing, like light meal preps. Or if we prepare a dinner, we prepare enough where we have a nice healthy lunch for the next day now.
Love it. See?
And it just rolls in. So, and those are little things that I know I'm doing. And I asked
100%.
because people that are going to watch this and listen to this podcast, they're going to take this away. And I wanted it to be where they heard it from you and not me, because you're the smart one and I'm the dumb one. So
No, we're all in this together. I will shout out our very, very close friends who are extremely proud of what they've built, and we're huge advocates of them. But Eat Clean Bro.
yeah.
Eat Clean Bro is an unbelievable company, healthy, meal prep. You could do a pickup or they deliver. They've grown. They're all over the tri-state. They're going their west side a little bit down there. Like, they're expanding. They're really blowing up. So
New York, Atlanta, they're down all the way down south. They deliver everywhere.
That's huge, man. What is it? eatcleanbro.com?
eatcleanbro.com. Yep.
They're just a great option. That's what we always say, a healthy and affordable option, because what happened in that moment that you weren't prepared for that day, you didn't have an option, right?
Yep.
So if you would have spent for that week, even if you were unprepared for 5 days for 5 meals, you would have spent $50 on 5 meals. You probably spent more than that on Burger King, McDonald's, and grabbing. Sometimes you spend $10-15, So
yeah.
And how do you feel? And how do you feel after you eat that food?
Oh, like garbage.
Look, if you do it once in a while, it's a delicious treat. We all can do it. I'm a huge, I do it too. It's nice. But when you're doing it and you really shouldn't have, you didn't want to, and you just like, you just feel like, why'd I do that?
Yeah, you don't have the right energy in you.
Yeah. I was going to say that too. Like, for someone like you who's got to bring the heat, you are like a machine, right? So what you put in your body only allows you to perform that much better. So like,
so I was doing myself and my client a disservice by not eating better foods that day.
100%.
I could have been like at a different level. If I was
exactly
an A product, it could have been an A+. So
see, so I think that's the other thing, is the justification of knowing it's an investment in you and your being.
If you guys want, send me the bill at the end of this, and we'll. So,
it's a great time.
I know, you guys are the best, man. Let me tell you. So I want to get to know you guys a little bit, what you guys do, like your best practices throughout the day. This is kind of going to be the final segment because you guys gave me all my advice that I need to take away from here. We're going to have some fun with it. What's your number one shame food? If you're going to binge out and you are going to go nuts eating, what is your food? I know mine. I've been preparing for this question my whole life.
I like Checkers.
Like a place or type of food?
Like a pig.
It could be anything. Even like, say, the Baconator at Wendy's.
I'm a big pizzeria, like a shrimp parm, chicken parms, like a good old hot Italian sandwich or something.
Romeo's or something, yeah. All right.
A parm or a calzone, like stuff like that. That's where I go, man, right away.
What about you, Matt? What's yours?
If it's like a quick, like fast food, I like Checkers. Checkers is always good. I'm down for some Checkers. I like their fries, crispy chicken sandwich. But I have pizzerias too. I mean, I like a good cheesesteak. I like chicken parm sub. I am not a picky eater. I'm a true gavone. I eat anything. I've always been a great eater, so I enjoy eating. I will say that I obviously limit the type of stuff that I eat, but I mean, I'm down to eat some good stuff for sure. Chicken and more.
You definitely married an Italian, Matt, because you just dropped gavone. Come on, bro.
Oh, yeah, go on.
I'm over here. I'm like, speaking my language. My mother said that to me once every Sunday.
Right? Yeah, hell yeah.
That's awesome. I would say, like, if I'm gonna do one, oh, dude, I'm gonna tell you, I could eat an entire carton of ice cream. I got a crazy sweet tooth.
Sweet.
Oh yeah. But on the way home from a gig, I'll pick up like a 20-piece chicken nugget, 2 McChickens, a thing of fries, and a large Sprite.
McFlurry.
I only told Carrie about the 2 McChickens, but that was it.
Now she knows.
Yeah, she's on to me.
She's like, wait, you had 2 sandwiches too?
Yeah,
like,
she's giving me eyes right now. She's like, what? No, but that's cool. So, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I'm such a forward thinker. I would just love to know what everyone's thinking while I'm talking to them.
Mind reader?
Yeah, mind reader.
Okay.
I think I'd like to fly.
Oh.
It's mine.
So,
all right, why?
That's yours too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man. I love the view, man. I want to be able to see everything in the world.
Well, I think for 2 reasons. Personally for me, I can't drive anymore. So I think that'd be cool if I could fly and get myself around. I like time efficiency. Like I like to optimize time. So if I could just freaking get somewhere and get shit done, I feel like I can optimize more time, like do more things.
Efficient, man. I love it.
Efficiency, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's part of the reason why I picked it. I have more fun saying that. I just want to see the world.
Yeah, right, for real.
All right. So what would be the one thing, if there's going to be one thing in this world that stops you from taking over the world, your fitness journey and you guys accomplishing everything that you guys want to accomplish, what's the one thing that's going to stop you? You got to pick something. You can't say nothing.
I would say nothing /
Death.
ourselves.
Yeah, ourselves or death.
I'll probably say like myself, like if the only thing I would be able to put a stop to would be a decision based on ourselves, you know, or us doing something detrimental to ourselves.
If we lose the ability to pursue our dreams.
I don't think that either of you are capable of that. So I'm going to rule that one out now, but I appreciate you trying to give me something. I know mine. It depends what's being served for dinner that night. So if Carrie's cooking some like enchiladas or something, I'm eating them. That's it.
Oh, I love me some enchiladas too.
Oh, she cooks too good. It's not fair. Okay, what's one book you guys would recommend, or one book that you always find yourself going back to, or audio books, even if you want to throw on a podcast? Because I was going to ask what kind of podcast or YouTube channel you guys really go to. So any of the three.
I mean, I got Relentless by Tim Grover.
Okay.
The Dichotomy of Leadership by Jocko Willem was amazing.
I have Extreme Ownership by him. I still have to
read that too. Oh,
is it good?
Yeah, it's so good. I loved I read all of them. I got his newest one I'm reading right now. His newest one on leadership. I'm a huge Tony Robbins advocate growing up. He's the GOAT.
Nope.
And then my podcast I follow a lot is Andy Frisella. He did the MFCEO project and now he does Real AF.
My brother's like religious with him.
Really? Yeah. I've been with him, you know, just listening to his podcast from the first one, and major influential to my life and just my thought process.
If there's a guy that takes no shit and doesn't make excuses, that's the guy. He's gonna motivate you.
Yeah, and he kind of just for me, it was kind of almost justification when we were going through all these ups and downs through business. Like he was kind of telling it real and letting us know, like that's the shit. Like it's tough. It's not supposed to be easy. It's hard, you know. So. And Ed Milet is another great one, I would say. Ed Milet's been an influencer.
But what was the last one you said? I'm sorry.
Ed Milet, his name is.
Okay. That one I haven't heard of. What's that one about?
Check him out. Look up his YouTube. He has interviews with people. He's like an influencer. He came from the finance world, but he influences people big in business, and he brings people on. He does an interview show of all different successful people of all different spaces and has really great interviews. You should check him out. Really good speaker. What
about you, Paul? What you got, man?
I'm a big Gary, when it comes to working on the craft a little bit, Gary V. I read all his books.
Oh yeah.
I always go back to all his books with the
Jersey boy.
Jab, hook with the advertising and the social media and the marketing world. When I was really trying to learn that for the business, I dove into that. And my favorite of all time, I actually probably reference it all the time, is 11 Rings by Phil Jackson. He's I like diving into those leadership sports books. I'm a huge sports guy. Follow a lot of coaches, Coach Calipari, people like that really have built things, And I love Phil Jackson just because, you get it's not just a book about winning. It's about his whole 11 Rings book is about leading each individual player and his experience.
Think about those personalities, yeah.
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, you got Ron Artest, you got Dennis Rodman, you got just everything. He was dealing with so much stuff, and it's just so unbelievably it's so great on perspective to hear his different stories that he has, dealing with them from contracts to on the court to getting them to play harder, from everything, So that's one of my favorites, 11 Rings.
I haven't read that one either. I have to definitely look at the Phil Jackson one. He was a legend, man. He didn't work out too well for my Knicks, but I'll tell you, him as a coach, man, any day.
I think, his coming out of retirement didn't do too well for him. He should have tucked himself back away, which he did.
And on a high note.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, we said we were doing an hour. Guys, we could probably talk another few hours if we really wanted to. But where can we find more about you before we wrap things up? What are your handles? Where are we going to find more about Relentless? If I want to sign up, where am I going?
First spot to go is our website. Kind of learn everything about us. If you're, Google person, just hit relentlesstraining.com, which is flying across the screen the whole time here. You can check that out. You'll see all of our services, all our class schedules. You'll learn more about us in our bios. You'll see different videos, member testimonials, things like that. Yep. Kind of running hand in hand with that. We're on YouTube, Relentless Training. We are on Instagram, Relentless Training. Twitter, Relentless Training, which we're not as active on, but probably our Instagram, our Facebook, and our website are the best spots you're going to go to learn more. As far as the sign up, just fill out the information on the pop-up on our website, or just reach out to either one of us or anyone on our team. All our contact information's on there too. So definitely, I mean, we always encourage you to go to that website because we just lay out so much there, and you could see a little bit of everything there, from videos to information and all that, and then follow up from there.
So I got to tell you, I thought you guys did your own website, and I'm going to tell you why. So back when I first met you guys, the first training session I did with you, I obviously checked out the website beforehand. I want to see what you guys are about, what I should expect, so on and so forth. So that day I saw the website. I think it was maybe a week or two later, I was back there again, or I was looking something up about you guys. The website changed. So I was like, man, these guys move quick with information. They keep everything updated and like cutting edge stuff. And I'm like, they have to be doing it themselves on like a GoDaddy or a Wix, something like that. So when you said you guys send it to your website guy, I'm like, damn. I'm like, you guys must be on the money to get it done that fast.
Well, our website, we use Adapting Social. John Magaro, who is another unbelievable story. If you ever want to guest on,
you get another guest. Hell yeah.
Set me up with him. Let's go.
Simple as this, he built his now he has firms, I think New York, Asbury Park. He built it out of, and he's younger than us. So we first hit with him, we were probably in like our mid-20s, and he was like in his early 20s, and he was just getting started, and he had his first spot in Red Bank, and then he's in Asbury now. He just built a monster company. He does everything for the Situation, Eat Clean Bro, JWoww, like any major stuff you could think of. Chris Pronger from the Rangers, he does all his social and his websites. He's got clients all over the world that he's linked up with, and he does unbelievable, awesome stuff. So
you can see the product in your website. Go check out relentlesstraining.com. You'll see all about it.
He built a great team.
Yeah, and he's a great person. Like just a good, kind-hearted kid that just had a dream, worked hard, and built something great. Like you definitely should have him on your thing because you would love his energy. He speaks very well, and he's just one of us, you know. Like that's why we're all connected. He's very like-minded. He's hungry, and he's just a good person doing good things. You know, that's it.
Guys, I got to tell you, I had a blast talking with you, getting to know you even more than I already knew before. I feel like I know the people behind the businessmen.
Like you say, we looked up at the clock before it was 1:30 or an hour and 30 we were in. Time flew. It was always a pleasure for people to allow us to tell our story. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
And for those watching, you can find this. I'm going to post it right after on djvinnyvice.com, so you can see it there. It's going to be on YouTube, Twitch, and I'll make sure I get it over to you guys. So thank you for everyone that tuned in. I really appreciate it. I want to thank both of you, obviously, Matt, Paul, for giving us just all the knowledge and insight around just building a healthy and well lifestyle. And just telling us your story, man. You guys are an inspiration.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Let's set up another one. The next few weeks.
Yeah.
We'll do it again.
I would say maybe once a month at least.
You hit us up. We're always down for you.
Boys, thank you so much. Everyone, take care and stay relentless.
Take care, man.
That's it,
All right, guys. Be good.